From access stacks to toy member, yeah, we break through. Unbox the fire, showcase the find. Collectors worldwide, all one of a kind. ToyLeet, we set the pace. Elite with the heat in this plastic race. ToyLeet, not just a name, we're the culture, the vibe, the collecting flame. Click, snap, pose, it's more than display. We stack with style, redefining play. Custom builds, epic drops, from stream to shelf, we never stop. ToyLeet, it's not just toys, it's legacy we stack. ToyLeet's the movement, and we're never looking back.
Hey, what is up?
I had a bunch of screens going and things all over the place. It was still playing audio in my ear after I clicked out of it, and it kept going. I was trying to make sure my screen wasn't giving me a glare, all that fun stuff.
Well, you look good, man. You look good.
I try. Even put on a hat to make it look semi-decent.
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
So how you doing, brother?
Okay. I'm doing good, man. Busy, living the life, can't complain. If I did, who was going to listen anyways? That's kind of the way I look at it, right?
Nobody's going to listen.
Exactly.
Well, even if they do listen, they're not going to give two shits. So.
Right. That's how it works. Good deal. Good, man. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happening in the toy world. I think...
always stuff happening
there
in
was
the toy world, isn't there?
Yeah. There was WonderCon. Or not WonderCon, Wonderfest, I guess. Wonder Festival
Wonderfest.
over in
Shanghai, China.
Shanghai. Yep. And then there was
Lots
New
of
York
cool
City
stuff.
Comic-Con.
Lots of cool stuff showing off at Wonderfest. Holy geez, some of those.
Oh man, that third party stuff.
Yeah, geez. Man, I'll tell you, a lot of those third party guys are actually getting like their own IP started. They're getting they're actually like official licenses and all sorts of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's picking up. They've got a ton of stuff. I mean, that just means 5K Toys is going to be starting to charge on the leg to people because they're not cheap.
No doubt there, man. No doubt there.
Yeah. I honestly wasn't paying attention. Go back and check out our stream, the video pre-record like a week ago. I think I released it in reference to what we got right, what we got wrong around the Savage Crucible Wave 4 announcement, which was really cool. So that video is doing pretty good. It seemed like some people like that.
Yeah, that's
your chats are showing, Ian.
Yeah, he's saying he was doing a test. He's saying something about that. Maybe it's not showing up on his end, so then he did a test. So
gotcha.
They are showing up, so I don't know if that's what's wrong or if there's something else wrong. So.
Yeah, they're showing. We've seen them right here. But yeah, man, things are good. A lot of stuff. New York City Comic-Con happened this weekend. There was a bunch of mainstream stuff there. I really didn't pay much attention to that stuff.
I only paid attention to it a little bit with, pop-ups on Instagram that was coming through. And then Sunday night I went live with Punk, as you were in the chat for a little while with Punk and Matthew.
Yep.
And we reviewed some of it, most of like the G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends, some of the Masters of the Universe stuff, and a couple other little things we went through pretty quickly. But, just tons of stuff. It's just crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't really follow much of it, mainly because really I'm independent toys, right? Like, what I will say, there is something that's pulled me back. There's something that's pulled me back hard and heavy into the mainstream toys. The pro wrestling stuff, man, I don't know what it is. I just the old habits die hard or don't die at all, I guess. So I did see a bunch of stuff from Mattel that Walmart did like their release in the last week or something for some of their Walmart exclusives. I'm looking heavily for one of the Scott Steiner Ultimates that came out, Big Papa Pump. It's a Walmart exclusive, so I'm trying to track that down right now myself. But yeah, man, I haven't picked anything up. I mean, actually, that's not true. Hold on, let me point something out real quick. I have picked quite a bit up. So as you guys can see, all behind me, it's all missing. So yes, I picked a lot of stuff up and I set it down. And what I mean by that is as I picked it up and set it down in the basement, the dungeon. I'm in the process of moving my office space and the Hexastack and ToyLeet facilities down to my basement area. So I've been pulling everything out. I've got all the helmets off the shelves from there, and all my Savage stuff's in the basement. I still got some Joe stuff in bags over here, some box stuff that I got to unbox. But man, the amount of crap that I have,
I got
So
a
much.
ton of stuff in this week, dude.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you?
A ton of stuff. Outside of the topic of tonight. Let me show you what
Oh yeah.
Yeah, outside of that.
Well, do you have any of them? I know I didn't check with you earlier, and I normally am better about this.
We're not going to
because
we don't need to do a flusher because the monster
No
force
flusher?
the monster
Cool.
force is the ultimate tonight. I got the Jersey Devil from
Okay.
the Four
Yeah.
Horsemen figure
Four Horsemen,
Obscuro.
right?
Yep. That went
Yeah.
on pre-order, I think, in August sometime. Usually they do figure obscure in stock, but this time they were still on the way over. I don't know if that was the sticks or what that was. Got that.
Yeah.
Got the Who Man in. Which,
Yes. I saw the video go up today.
yeah, got the Who Man in.
Who Man?
This is
He's
actually I got
awesome.
two of them. This is the second
Oh,
one
sweet.
I haven't opened yet.
Love Who
But
Man.
I use one as an extra body and stuff.
You're gonna need one when you get those angel wings to put on
Yeah.
one of them, man.
I got this big monstrosity, the Loose Collector's Mr.
God.
Hyde.
That is huge. That would clog my toilet, even if it was.
This thing
junk.
is heavy, dude. I mean, like it's probably got to go 5 pounds by itself.
You,
then, of
you
course,
lift
like-
up the Tanger. You've lifted up Tanger from AWOC.
Oh, it's
and,
heavier
like,
than
the,
Tanger.
Brutes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're bigger.
It's heavier than that. It's about the
Yeah.
same size as Tanger, but he's
Okay.
definitely more solid. But he's pretty
Got a
cool. He
bulkier
comes with a couple
plastic.
different heads. This one was
Yeah.
the BBTS exclusive. They had an original one that didn't have it had like brown hair. This one has gray hair, so it was a BBTS.
Do you still have one of the Brute level
AWOCs?
AWOCs,
No.
Tanger, or any of that? Okay.
No.
I know you get stuff, move stuff, get stuff, move stuff. So I wasn't sure. I was gonna ask if you wanted.
Yeah.
You should put that up on the spindle and put them next to each other and see what they look like in comparison.
My spindle could not even handle those turning around on it. Like
Really?
my turntable bogs down with the weight of this Mr. Hyde. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man.
I mean, now mine's not that
That's impressive.
great of a turntable, but it still
Yeah,
bogs
but I
down
mean,
quite a bit.
It's an impressive feat that thing is that
Yeah.
much. I mean that's a paperweight at this point. You know,
Yeah.
or
It's
they
a
sell
weapon.
they sell that thing online. they sell it online as a paperweight, right? Like
Yeah.
I said, a brass knucks. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
paperweight. That's all that is.
I keep him on the ground because I'm afraid if he falls, he's going to take
Oh,
something
yeah.
out. So,
Absolutely.
Jeff
You gotta be
says
careful with
that looks dope. Yeah, the Jersey Devil or Mr. High, whatever one you're referring to, they're both really cool figures. I've heard a lot of people had some QC issues with the knees on the Jersey Devil. I don't know. I didn't have
Yeah.
any problems with mine.
I saw that in
but I
in the
did see that.
responses on your video.
Yeah, I did see a couple comments and a couple other people I saw on Instagram that had problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big haul. Plus, obviously, what we're gonna be talking about a little bit later, which let's not dive too
Yeah.
much into there right now. But yeah, man, that's a ton of crap that you picked up. I will say,
Well, I didn't
didn't
even,
do anything-
all of that stuff was all on pre-order. I haven't, it just
Yeah.
all came in one at the same week. Luckily, I only shipped
right,
the first half of my Monster Force because I knew,
okay,
I knew Frosty was coming in, which that just hit my pile of loot from Jada Toys. So I was waiting for that to ship the rest of it because I didn't want to just, ship that by itself. So it was like I can only open
man.
up so much and look at so much right away anyway. So
I bought I purchased the first figures that I purchased in a while because I have so much. And I was actually listening to Brick and Adam the other day on their Monkey Talk show there, Monkey Biz, I think, or whatever it's called, stream. And they talked about how like they could go a while without buying things because they have pre-ordered so much. And that's the same thing, right? Like
Yep.
I still got Wave 3 from the Savage Crucible coming. I still have all of the stuff coming from the AWOC Series 2 stuff that they did on the Kickstarter. I've still got the Brutal Realm stuff coming. So I haven't ordered anything in quite some time.
Yeah.
And I actually hadn't been in my Big Bad Toys account in a while. And the other day I went in because I was looking, I think, to do some research on the what are they called? The Monster Force folks. And I noticed when I logged into my account that I had credit for like $85, and I was like,
What
okay, here we
did
go.
you know what it's probably from? Do you know what it's from? It was probably the reindeer, right?
I think I did a pre-order on a bunch of stuff and
Because
canceled it.
I pre-ordered
So,
those reindeer, and they weren't supposed to ship till like December, and then that one came in early, and I had two of those on order. I had
okay.
$85 credit. Like
Oh,
I ended up using it towards the Monster Force stuff, but that's what mine
gotcha.
was from. It was like 84 something.
Okay.
But it
Well,
was
so
because
I didn't remember what
yeah,
I didn't remember what I did. I did no
because I
idea.
had those
Couldn't
two.
remember. I'm like,
Because you remember all those reindeer, we each ordered, the 8 of them plus Rudolph and then the sled,
yeah.
and they weren't supposed to come in till like December. One of them got delivered early. I think 2 of them ended up getting delivered
Okay.
early now, but one got delivered really
Okay.
early, and I had 2 of those in my thing, and they got shipped to my hell loot, and I was too busy worrying about
Yeah.
other things, just left them in there, and then I went back in a while later, and I was like, oh, $84 credit. I'll just wait for Monster Force and put it on that.
Yeah. I was pretty happy because there was some wrestlers that were released from their contracts
Yeah.
that were in like their development stuff over the weekend, and they had some elites done, and I constantly was like interested in them, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy them, I'm not gonna buy them, I'm not gonna buy them. And then finally, like when they got released, I was like, well, they're not gonna make them anymore.
Yep.
So and they were on clearance, so I snagged those for myself.
That's
And I saw a
awesome.
couple other things that were on like discounts through Big Bad, so I snagged those real quick. And had well, first I checked to see if Hello had them. They didn't have them, so then I grabbed them with my credit from Big Bad.
Yeah. They've had
And then
Big Bad's been doing some actually they got some really good sales on like the stuff that nobody really wants or the stuff that's been out for a long time, right? But
yeah,
um even like on some random things, I check their daily deals and their weekly specials out all the time, and they just sometimes randomly have something in there that's 40% off or whatever. It's like, damn.
oh, okay. Yeah, so the action figure I got was Wesley from the WWE Elite figure. I think it was like I'm pretty sure that figure came out in like I don't know. It's like wave 118 or no, I don't even know what wave it was. That wave was no, that was wave 94, and they're at like wave 20 or something right now.
Yeah.
So that's like that was a while ago. It's been
Yeah.
multiple years, but they were like down to $10. So I was like, okay,
Oh,
I can get some elites for $10.
yep.
But so before we get into the chat, for those that just joined in, appreciate you guys. If this is your first time joining us, thank you. We appreciate you guys a ton. We actually hit 341 subscribers recently. We've had a ton of uptick in the subscribers, so really appreciate you guys subbing, sharing, and commenting, liking. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the content. Definitely expect to see more content like the Savage Crucible stuff. We're going to be doing some additional focuses here with Savage Crucible and Monster Force focuses as lore and more contents there. Something we both are passionate about and we enjoy talking about. So, we get on here to talk about our plastic passion. As we say, it's mostly independent toys. There is a little bit of the Mattels and Hasbros, but very limited. We don't really dive into the news on those. If you want to talk Hasbro or Mattel, really, you should go talk to a Punk with Toys. He'll talk your ear off for 3.5, 4 hours now on Sundays and Mondays. Here we like to also, shout collectors out that are doing cool stuff in the space. We like to play the ToyLeet or toilet segment. And then we also dive into our, main topic. Sometimes it's convention tips. Sometimes it's talking about legacy lines we'd like to bring back. But, welcome to the takeover, folks. And, Ed, you want to pull up the chat?
Yeah, absolutely. We got Mr. Mendoza here with us saying, what's up, all? And go Operation Monster Force. Hell yeah. And Ian's here saying, mana mana. And the problem he's having is that it's saying Ian Sweeney instead of the Mudhorn Station, which
Gotcha.
YouTube keeps flipping between your handle and your channel name for whatever reason. So,
Oh, okay.
Plastic Skulls, what's up, Action and Mr. Wonderful, and everyone else. And my buddy Jeff from Skunkworks Studios is here saying, yo. with some fishes. That's awesome. And let's see. Oh, we are Toy Tube official because Nolan is in the house saying hi to everybody. Um, Warbow from Marvel Legends is my jam. Such a deep cut. Yeah, with Kristar, it's a great cut. I mean, that was such an awesome set of figures back in the day.
Is that a release over the weekend?
Yeah, they announced it over from
Okay.
NYC. Let's see who else we got. I saw some more people. Manhose is saying Donner Party is my figure of the year, hands down. Yeah, I'm excited to get mine
Okay.
torn open. Matthew Matson is here with us. Schumagrath hit my pile of loot today. Anyone pre-ordering any more Great Wolves? They are great. Occupation Monster Force should be here tomorrow. Yeah, I pre-ordered the gray one today. I can't remember his name.
What is it?
The Loose Collector Great Wolves. There's 4 of them. They're about the
Oh,
same size as that hide, made by the Loose Collector, just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
hide is. But
Yeah.
they were out of stock for a long time, and they just went back up for pre-order. But now that they're
Gotcha.
coming out with the Sasquatch and Yeti and the Skookum for the Crypt, they announced that they're doing the Dog Man and the what the hell's the word? Cholulu, which is the gigantic figure. Jeff
Okay.
saying he
Oh,
canceled
yeah.
this Four Horsemen's Viking, tired of waiting, got other things to invest in. Yeah, I hear you.
Wow. The Viking, is that which is that? Is that like the stuff from
I
is
think
that the
that's the
stuff
one
coming out
from the
from
Bear
the
Wave, the Rising
yeah,
Suns. Yeah.
Rising Suns? That's coming
Yeah.
out soon, I think, right? End of the
Yes.
year?
December or around Legion's Con, I think. Jeff saying he's
Yeah.
really enjoyed everyone's Monster Force photos. It's all over the Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, and Matthew's got Frosty and Schumagrath sitting in his pile of loot. Yeah, don't forget to
Oh,
ship that soon, because then if you don't ship it, then they just put it back in stock and give you credit.
is that how that works?
Yep. And that's it for the chat, brother.
Awesome. Good deal. Let me just get this window open here. Sorry, I had a message. I wanted to just check. Okay. Awesome. So with that said, we're just gonna jump right on in, right? I think that's the plan tonight. So go right in, right? So we have here, you know, as we said, right? We go into we have a couple segments we hit before we go to our main topic, but if you stick around tonight, we're gonna be, you know, after the shout out and after the news, we'll be diving into something that Ed has been very, very patient on for the last year, because it's
Yep.
right around the Halloween time last year that you
Yep.
got season 1, and now we're looking to Monster Force Operation Monster Force season 2 has officially landed.
Season 2
Ed's
and
gonna be
0,
cracking
technically.
Oh yes, season 0 and 2. I refer to them as season 2 throughout this,
Yeah.
just based on what was coming.
Yeah.
But Ed's gonna be cracking them open live on the screen for us today.
Well, the first half
But
that I
from
got,
the looks
anyway.
of it, yes, the ones we have, and we'll be reviewing some of the others, giving some additional context around there. But that's for the main topic this week. And then if I can hit this thing properly.
Down by the creek where the water flows, we're shouting out to those who know. Spreading joy, sharing love, ToyLeet fam, you rise above. Shout out from the creek, you're the best. Hype up the heroes who've passed the test.
So this week, with this shout out from the Crick, and yes, normally Ed is the one leading us in here, but this week I found one that has drawn me in, hooked me up, and I'm just like totally all over. And the shout out for the Crick this week goes to Wrestling Without Limits over on Instagram. He's been doing some stuff for quite a while now. I somehow just picked up on it, but he has a really cool Instagram. He has a YouTube. He doesn't actually do much over there, but this guy, the photography he does is awesome. And I love lore, and while wrestling isn't like lore, it's storytelling and such. He does it in a really cool way where he's been like kind of doing like a picture fed, but he adds content to it and he keeps it going. And he's like on episode 14. And I think some of these matches and these stories he puts together are 60 to 100 pictures, and the angles he's doing, they're just awesome. And, I thought it was really cool. I had some questions for him because I just really enjoyed what he was putting out there. And I reached out to him and he was really informative, shared some information with me, and then went live with a stream last night. But he's doing some really cool stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, I know this isn't a wrestling group here, but I really enjoyed it. I continue to enjoy it and follow it, and he's inspired me down. As I'm getting the factory built in the basement, I'm like, okay, I'm setting my arena back up. I'm getting that arena.
When you shared this with me the other day and said you want to shout this guy out, and you told me that you just found him, I was just completely blown away. First of all, his pictures and stuff on Instagram is absolutely amazing for like the wrestling stuff, right? Like if you're a wrestling fan, this guy is like doing some amazing stuff with the action figures. But for you not to know of this guy, I'm disappointed, man.
So I've been following him for a while, like because I saw his stuff, but I wasn't like I didn't click and go through and scroll all the way back to the the one of 640 posts he had made where he does an introductory to like what he's doing and like all the way to like where he is right now, where he's on episode like Battleground episode 14, and he's got like these premium live events that he does, and his arena setup's great. Like he sent me some background photos that I could look at to see how he had his like stage set up to be able to handle it. And then last night he went live with kind of like a how he books his stuff and things like that, and I just thought it was creative and interesting. So I have been following him for quite a while, but his content, well, I didn't really dive into heavily until the last few weeks, which I was like really, really impressed with. So,
yep. So go over there, give it a look, check, follow him on Instagram.
I don't know his real name. He hasn't shared that, but his Instagram is Wrestling Without Limits, WWL. It's got a very, very cool. There's a ton of people following him. That I was familiar with, that I recognize. Realm of Toys. He's following the guy's. Doing great stuff.
Yeah.
So
awesome pictures.
Good deal. Next up, we got the news. It's your boy, Mr. Wonderful. You already know what time it is. It's another week, another stack of fresh drops and reveals and toy news you need to know. So this is your ToyLeet Network news for the week of October 14th, 2025. So let's just jump right in. First up, we got some news out of the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom line from Spiro Toys. They started showing off some updates with their Kickstarter. The delivery did push back again a little bit as Spiro was retooling some chest molds, I guess, to handle some better butterfly joint movement. Final figures, unfortunately, won't ship or be sold at Legion's Con as they had previously hoped, but they do anticipate having the production samples on display for folks to see them in person. Brawlers and Reptiles progress. The new Primal Series 2 packaging art has been revealed. Some larger boxes for those bigger Brawler bucks. The figures that we are all extremely excited to get. The Reptile fit textures reworked for sharper production detail with tooling is next in line. The next stops ahead, they're going to be at the Titan Toy Expo in October 25th and 26th. I think those are the dates, I hope. And then Legion's Con on November 7th and 9th with hopefully those prototypes and paint masters in hand. There definitely be some fan meetups, I'm sure, to celebrate Animal Wars of the Kingdom at that time. And then additionally, I'm going to show this. Specifically, it's a blurred vision. It's blurred. I could have shown the screen capture. Adam and Brick, if you happen to catch us on the replay, there was a comment with Jason on there that, oops, I accidentally showed this. We're not going to talk about it. You'll have to. And then Jason made a comment about, oh, but somebody could just clip it. You're right. So I clipped it, but then I blurred it. So if you want to see what this is, you're going to have to go over to Brick and Highly Articulated and watch their Monkey Business where they talked about it. I think it's Monkey Business episode 29, titled Q&A. It was a good episode. It was really cool. Some of the things they talked about were, a bunch of the AWOC stuff, but they even hinted towards, obviously the image you see on screen here, but they also showed some wolves photos or I guess proof of concept artwork. But then they even hinted towards potentially releasing Build-A-Figures in the future as part of their line, which I was really excited to hear. And it was even hinted towards maybe that's how they can get out the Rhino in the future, by piecing it out in a Build-A-Figure over a wave with some smaller figures that maybe, aren't necessarily warrior level, but that would give you the desire to capture or collect all of them. So very cool. Definitely go check out that Monkey Business episode for more details from Adam, Jason, and Brick. Up next, Brutal Realm. They had that Shatter emerged photos that showed up. They kind of revealed this. Features 3 faceplates, Shadow Sword, Dagger, and ghoulish-looking shield there, kind of with the same image on it. They expect to expand this, to expand the dark ranks there. The Q3 2026 is the shipping time frame for alongside General Grimskull, which is the target. You can pre-order these over at BBTS, Kickstarter, Gundamit, and BrutalRealm.com soon. So go ahead and check that out. Update from Creative Beast Studio. This one focuses on the Kickstarter. This one, I didn't cover too much last time, but it's the brand new Beast of the, Mesozoics, that whole world that they've been building out. But it's their trading card game that's currently on Kickstarter. They have already hit their target and the goal. This kind of mixes the prehistoric beasts with some futuristic dragons and, head-to-head battles for survival. You'll be able to build your team using beast, biome, and utility cards to out-strategize your opponent. It's essentially what has been said is Jurassic Park meets Yu-Gi-Oh! The campaign blew way past its goal, like I said, just in the first few hours, and it's already scheduled to hit some stretch goals, including some holographic upgrades and some new art reveals. So if you're into dinosaurs, dragons, or killer artwork, check it out. It's live right now. I think there's about 8 or 9 days left, and they're just over $42,000. And they also did some updates, and they've been doing some additional reveals over on their Instagram. There's a few different cards here you can see. I'm not going to go into too much, but you can see the artwork very much has that look and feel of maybe like a Magic the Gathering or any of those other, common card games that you may be familiar with. But this looks interesting and definitely something I'm keeping my eye on and looking to potentially get behind. Couple updates from the Four Horsemen. We have the Infinite Feed-In Takes Flight, the Glyos. Legion's crossover. It blew up over the last few days, I guess. There's all 3 of them sold out within an hour. But to meet the demand, the Onel Design launched their first ever pre-order, however that works. They'll be running that until October 19th at onel.store. And then there'll be no limits. You can go ahead and grab that, Fade-In, Anti-Fade-In, and Sarvos while you can. And then they also had some updates. I'm not going to cover this in detail other than the image you see on the screen, but they have the Store Horseman Graveyard pre-order. They have the blind box skeletons for $20, which come in pink, purple, orange, and yellow. Plus you get a 1 in 12 opportunity to get a black one. Also, there's the Graveyard Zombies. You have that the woman and the rocker, or the rocker and the worker, I guess is what they're called. They come with some soft goods and accessories and some unique gear packs for customization. Pre-order ends Halloween night at storehorseman.com, so don't miss out on that. Quick update from the Legends of Ramayan, if I'm saying that right. They already, and this one shocked me because this was a pretty quick first go for Wave 1. They were successful on the Kickstarter, but they had the Wave 2 tooling completed already and production already on deck. Wave 1 figures and test shots had already arrived. Their official website is now live at, there's a really long address. I recommend just looking them up on Instagram because I can't pronounce it and it would be horrible to try. The backer kit orders are also locking in soon, so you're going to be able to get any last minute add-ons for that Wave 1. And there are some releases of the images for those inbox Wave 1s you can see here. There's a couple different photos you can see. I'm really impressed with how fast this got to market and how fast it's going to end up in people's hands. It actually really shocked and impressed me. If you had told me it was going to be out within this fast, I would have called bullshit, to be honest. Fresh Monkey Fiction. I'm not going to go too heavy in here, but there has been a recent tease for Legions Con. When you can't see him, it's already too late. So there's something coming from the Fresh Monkey Fiction folks over there for Legions Con in a few weeks. I'm sure Ed and my co-host here is extremely excited, but there'll be more of that to come here shortly. We'll keep you updated. Also, El Dragoon having a little bit of traction over there. They have a website live. They've got it coming soon. There's not much you can do on it other than go ahead and put your email in so you can get notified of any updates. I highly recommend you do so you can keep up to date on their newsletter. But there's traction going there, and Mega J, and I can't think of his first name. I apologize. Danny, thank you. Danny, we'll have to get them back on soon. I was just talking to Mega J the other day, so they'll be giving us some updates here in the future. But go ahead and check out their website, and you can sign up for the mailing list. Another update from upcoming Kickstarter is the Tide Realm Corsairs. I think that's the name. I believe they went through some name changes, but I think that's the one they landed on. It's essentially a new high fantasy kind of pirate action figure line called Tide Realm Corsairs. It's in development. It's by Corsair Creations, with the sculpting and prototyping having been completed by the Four Horsemen Studio. So you'll be familiar with the look and feel and the quality of those designs. The lore does kind of center around a world shaped by three battling sea gods. The conflicts created Tide Realm Isles, and after their disappearance, various factions, including pirate crews and power-hungry rulers. Among the factions is the Black Regent, originally cast as reformers, promising order, but underneath, led by Captain Horace Ravenswood. Their governance turns increasingly authoritarian. So the first wave is going to have, I believe, 3 figures. They will be on display at Legions Con if you're interested in that. You'll definitely want to check it out. And again, that's on November 7th through the 9th, and you should be able to get an opportunity to see those. The Kickstarter is currently looking to gear up for an early 2026 launch. We'll go ahead and keep you guys updated on that as it comes, and here's a few previews of what those figures from their first wave are looking like. So you can see Death Mold, Morningstar, and Captain, because I'm not going to try to say the last name. And last but not least, we have some updates over from Valaverse. First and foremost, we have their O-Ring Trigger figure, which they announced in the last, I think, 24 hours or so. That Trigger is officially joining the Action Force O-Ring line, developed with Lone Wolf Toys and LaCroix Toys. The fan favorite character will be part of the initial 2026 lineup, with more details coming soon. And then something I found, this was not shared with me, this is something that I just happened to be snooping the interwebs with. I don't know if it had been shared elsewhere, so I do apologize if I bring this to light and it wasn't supposed to, but this is a head sculpt with the likeness of Zach McGowan for the Valaverse figure that surfaced online, that was crafted by Kevin Dealey's. He's done other works that I'm sure people are familiar with. Again, I didn't see an official announcement of this, but I know we've seen things teased and hinted towards. But it's a detailed render that looks to be associated with what I believe to be that the Black Flag or the pirate-based missionary, military-driven portion of the Valaverse. And that's what we got this week from the news. Ed, is there anything you want to cover from any of the comments?
No comments, but Shane from Same Time Toys is here. If you haven't checked out Shane and I can't remember, I think it's Woody, Triple Two, and a couple other guys do Smoke and Joe's, which is a fun show to watch. As far as the news goes, though, that Corsairs Kickstarter, I think it's Tide Realm now. It used to be something else, but now it's Tide Realm Corsairs. That was designed by the Four Horsemen Studios. Those guys helped design those figures.
That's what, I thought that's what I said. I apologize if I left it out.
And then that's pretty cool that Valaverse is doing the 3 3/4 inch with LaCroix Toys. I met LaCroix Toys, the guy that does all that stuff at Joe Fest. He's a really cool guy. So good I'm happy for him. So outside of that, that's all I got.
Awesome. Here we go. And then that's going to take us right into the main topic. So That's pretty quick. I don't
I
have
don't
a
know
timer
nothing about
running,
this
but
line.
yeah, yeah. I don't think you know much at all.
Is
No,
it
no, I
new?
kid, I kid. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it might as well be every Halloween. So,
Yeah.
it's the main event of the evening, right? We're finally here and we're driving straight into it. We've got the boxes on deck. Ed's got them, most of them, and we're gonna be cracking some of these figures open live on the show tonight. We're gonna be checking the figures out, the gear, the paint apps, all the details that make this line, in my opinion, while I've never held them, but I've seen them, one of the better ones, and a very interesting one that when I started going down the rabbit hole, I think at one point I added them all to my cart and I was up to like $1,500 through Big Bad, and I didn't do it, luckily. And I only say that because it's an expensive venture, and I did kind of shift away from those military driven and even these. But these are really cool and definitely something that if I was willing to spread my wings a little bit further and I wasn't so deep in some other areas, it's definitely one that I'd be interested in. But if you've been with Monster Force since day one, like Ed has, you already know they've been leveling up since wave one and the previews for wave two, and then I'm sorry, from season one to season two. And then now, I mean, we've seen the previews for season three. It looks like they continue to kind of up the level every time.
Oh yeah.
So, as they say, buckle up, grab your snacks, and let's find out together if these monsters still have some fight left in them. That said, Ed, it feels like we've been talking about this drop for a few weeks, but it feels like we've been talking about this line and this way or this season for a year now.
Yeah.
What's your excitement level right now?
I've been, dying to get these because when I have the whole uh, season 2 and season 0 on order, and I got all the name characters sent except Dr. Caligari, which I forgot to have him sent in the first lot, and then my second lot, which is in my pile of loot still, which I'll ship at the end of this week, is all the army builders. So, but man, I'll tell you, when I first saw Monster Force, which was I think 2023, and then they finally got the first guys out in 2024, and now we've been waiting a year for this next wave with a couple of Lieutenant Griffin, the Invisible Man exclusives for Joe Fest and for I can't remember the other con that the other one was maybe Toylanta or one of
Atlanta?
the Toylanta I
Atlanta?
think. So I got those guys in this year, which kind of held me over, but Declan Van Helsing, which is the main character of the good forces, is probably my favorite
Yep.
figure for the last year since I got him in. So I mean,
Man.
I'm really excited to get into these ones. Really excited to see, from the pictures I've seen online so far on Instagram and stuff, just amazing looking figures. So I can't wait to crack mine open.
Awesome. I mean, it's safe to say that the Operation Monster Force is to you what the Savage Crucible and Animal Warriors: The Kingdom is to me, right?
Yeah,
I think
100%.
I
Yep.
think that's your big thing there. That's mine. It's
Yep.
definitely your space where you keep close tabs on where I keep on the other stuff.
Yep.
So that's awesome. Good deal. So as you can see on the screen, I got some screenshots of season two. I know this does include technically season one, but before we start tearing into the boxes, we're gonna go through a few things, right? The full season two / season one lineup. You can see, how balanced the wave is, right? It's a new members of the Delta Red. You've got some Phantom Corps variants, some killer villains like I believe. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think the Donner Party is a villain. I'm not
No,
sure.
Donner Party's on the good side.
Oh, okay, okay. So see, that's why I need you for it. I
Yep.
need you for the lore. And then I'm assuming Doctor Caligari is a bad guy.
Dr.
I think he's
Caligari's
a
a bad
villain.
guy.
Sure
Yep.
as looks someone. So looking at this group shot that I have here, which design jumps out to you the most?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I was kind of, when I first saw him, Halloween Boy, I was kind of like, he's cool looking, but, kind of oddball for this line. But the more I've seen pictures of him, and then when they did like the actual like marketing photos of him, in hand, I was just like, oh, damn. And I've peeked at him a couple of times in his package, and it's just like the only reason I really like him is because he just pops. I mean, like everybody else is in the
Yeah,
typical, greens and browns and blacks and grays that you find in, every military based action figure line, right? And then you got Halloween Boy. He's just bright orange, and it's just like bam. And outside of him, the one I'm really looking forward to is Lieutenant Griffin, which is the Eraser, the Invisible Man. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't tell who that was, but I did figure it out eventually. Um, so I'm just gonna add a little context here, Ed, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but for anyone who's new to the line, here's the setup, right? The Forgotten King, a sorcerer pharaoh, so evil Egypt literally erased his name from history, is back from the dead, right? That
yes,
sums that up right there.
yep,
Every soldier sent to stop him ends up killed and reanimated under his control, right?
right, yep,
So the government calls in the Monster Hunter, which is Declan Van Helsing, which is
yep,
from season one,
yep,
who does the unthinkable. Opens Vault 13 and releases Count Dracula.
yes,
His logic, simply put, it takes a monster to fight a monster.
yep,
That's wild, right? Like that's
yeah,
the story. You know me, I love lore, so I did
yeah.
a little bit
And
of digging into it.
Van Helsing is from the Van Helsing family of the stories, right? That fights fights
Right.
the monsters and
The
captures
tr-
the monsters,
the
and
history, like
yep,
the larger lore beyond just
yep.
Operation Monster Force.
So
Yep.
when he has to release
So
Dracula, it's kind of like a real, emotional
it,
dilemma for him to his family's been, capturing monsters their whole entire, generations. And he's got to be, the first one to actually let loose a monster. And, but he's
gotcha.
got to do it for that reason, right? Because it takes a monster to, fight the
To
monsters.
release, yeah. Evil for evil, eye for an eye, right?
Yep.
Leaves everybody blind. But that said, I did a little digging into the lore, so I think I got an idea of it. It's definitely got me interested. Um, it definitely leans full comic book, but it still ties into kind of that tactical look of figurines that could easily slide into your Joe, your Valaverse. Um, I don't even know what else is out there at this point with those ones. I think those are the two main ones.
Yeah. Two
There's
main
a
ones are
couple
6 inch.
offshoots and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So now we'll jump in. So again, Ed alluded to he already received some of these. We'll be unboxing them shortly. We're gonna start with the figures that he doesn't have in hand. Hopefully, I have the right screenshots all
Yep.
together and I gathered all that. So up first we have, two of my opinion the creepiest figures around: Doctor Caligari and the Sleepwalker,
Yeah.
assault trooper. These shots set the tone for just how dark season 2 kind of gets in my eyes.
Yeah. So
Which
that
one do you? Oh, sorry.
that Sleepwalker is the aerial recon Sleepwalker. So last season 1 came with 3 different Sleepwalkers: Obsidian, Crimson, and something else, and they
Okay.
were all different colors. So this guy's kind of very similar in the way he's designed, trench coat and all that to them, but he comes with a jetpack. But this guy is special because he comes with a werewolf head and werewolf hands. So
Yep.
he's a sleepwalker that also gets turned into a werewolf, or a kilowog as they're called in the Monster Force lore.
And which one of these two here do you think nails that kind of horror vibe more?
Oh,
Caligari?
Caligari is like he's like a Nazi that's walking around with a brain for a dome, right? I mean, that's it. It's like, I mean, how much more horrifying can you get? It's like,
Right.
and he's got a briefcase full of the sleepwalker agent, so he could basically, turn anyone into a sleepwalker that he wanted to.
Right, right. So when you look at these two, you could pretty much drop either of these into some sort of Mythic Legion or, I guess not Mythic Legion, but the what do they call them? The Figure Obscura,
Yeah,
kind of like horror type stuff, or even
yeah,
like some of the Mezco horror displays. And these look like
yep.
they'd fit in perfectly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Up next, and at any time, if you want to give more context around any of these
Yeah,
like lore or figures, please do. Up next, we've got the how do you pronounce it?
Apophis.
Apophis,
Yep,
Apophis Legion.
Apophis is an
Um,
ancient Egyptian deity. So, and he was
oh,
like,
see, I don't even know these
he was a
things.
world eater.
Okay. And then you have the Phantom Corps. They're your
Right.
army builder, figures. So you could use these as your military s army builders or your zombie, dead
So yeah,
military.
they have
Um,
in this wave they released the Phantom Corps, which is like the good guys, and these are the
right.
troopers that end up actually becoming the Apophis Legion and the undead sleepwalkers when they get reanimated by the Forgotten King. So basically, in the story, when the Forgotten King first came back, the military was sending all these Phantom Corps, which were just regular military guys at the time, in to fight, the Forgotten King, and they were all just getting slaughtered and coming back as the Walking Dead essentially, and that's when they call on Declan. So
And you hit it perfectly, right? I totally see this. You used the Walking Dead term, like there is a ton of opportunity here for someone who doesn't give a crap about Operation Monster Force that could dive in and grab some of these figures if they're into creating, Walking Dead like, photography, action figure photography, because like you have them, like that's perfect.
right. And you remember when we had zombies, space zombies from Mars on, right? Arlen and
Yep.
Adam and all that, and his brother. What the hell is his brother name? I forgetting. Ira.
Nothing.
Ira.
Yes.
And they were telling us about how Arlen loves zombies, and he was starting to like design all these zombies. So here you go. This wave has 3 zombies in it.
Yeah. Did he design these?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even
Arlen
realize
designed
it, but that makes sense.
Yeah, Arlen designed almost all the Monster Force.
Oh my goodness.
So
And
far.
again, that goes back to
figures,
what we said when we had him on, is there's so many figures that he has had his hands in that like you don't even realize it until you're talking to somebody who knows, but like that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then as a guy, Ed, who likes posing, taking photos, you haven't been too heavy from my recollection with troop building so much, right? Like I don't feel like
No.
you go crazy with the troop building. You get
Nope.
the guy you want, you do what you need with them.
Yeah.
But do these feel distinct enough to army build if you wanted to, because there's so many variants you could display them with?
You could definitely army build. I mean, first of all, if you're going to do like some really good stuff, of course, you'd want to like army build the Phantom Core guy, right? And they got some extra Phantom Core and Delta Red like weapon sets, with extra weapons and stuff like that, gear packs. And then, of course, the zombies, you can never, they're a bunch of soldiers that get turned into zombies. So you definitely want, an army of them to attack, your military,
Yeah.
right? I'm not an army builder guy. I got 2 of one figure in this whole entire, 9 or 10 character wave, and that was just the
Yeah.
Black Watch agent.
That's
But
awesome.
I mean,
Yeah,
are they
no, and
unique enough? I mean, the nice thing is with Fresh Monkey Fictions, they give you different like chest plates and stuff. It's all plug and play, so you can plug in a different bunch of different things. Different helmets, headgear. Like the Phantom Core comes with an African American face and a Caucasian face, so you can have different soldiers. So I mean, there's enough
that's awesome.
interchangeability that you could easily build an army and not have too many guys that look exactly the same. They look very similar, but not
Yeah.
exactly the same.
That's great. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next set of figures, which collectively, these are the 6 you have in hand. And I believe you also have a weapons pack in hand too, right? Is that right?
I got the
head
Black
pack?
Watch head pack. Yep.
That's
And there's
what
one
it
extra guy in
Okay.
this set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6 guys. Okay. Yeah. 6. Sorry. I can't count.
Perfect.
Real
No,
quick
you're
before we
good.
jump
So-
into that, let me.
Yeah.
We got a couple of chats in here. Dave Dimensions here saying, "Hey, yo, what's up, Dave? Good to see you, buddy." And Jose saying was just a little let down. Delta Red Nightshade did not come with extra mags, especially since one of the loadouts is made for ammo. Yeah. Matthew, of course, making fun of you for not being able to say Apophis.
Come on, man. I can't pronounce shit.
He can't pronounce Travis most of the time. So
Most days.
Punk saying, "Oh, Travis actually showed up."
I've been here like every week.
Yeah, every week.
It's Punk. It's Punk that hasn't been showing up.
I know, right? Switches the show to Sunday night. Now he thinks he's a superstar. Mr. Ted Darklaw's in the house saying, "Hello, friends. Pop in
Hey,
before
brother.
bed. Love you both. What's up, brother?" And that's it.
Awesome. So This is where the real stars, because we talked about those. Those are army builders, other than the first two, right? The last three were army builder, really
Yeah.
focused. But now this is where the stars kind of show up in the season, right?
Yeah.
Wave, whatever you want to call it, right? You've got the Eraser, you've got General Brown, you've got the Black Watch Agent, you've got the Donner Party, you got Halloween Boy, and then you have
So that guy next to him was the 25th anniversary BBTS's exclusive figure, which is called the Delta Red Nightshade Trooper.
Yes,
so that's
thank
technically
you.
an army builder as well. And I can tell you a little bit more about that when we get to the figure.
Awesome. So, Ed, you're going to have the honor of doing this momentarily. Which one are you going to open first?
I'm just going to randomly grab them out of the box. I'm not even going to
Okay.
look. 'Cause
If you had to pick one, which one would it be?
I'd probably go for Halloween Boy or the Lieutenant Griffin first, depending on.
Donner
I'd probably
Party.
I'd probably rip into both of those as fast as I could. So
Donner Party for me, for sure.
yeah, Donner Party's a nice looking figure. A lot of pictures I've seen of him.
Yeah. So let's just kind of do a rundown real quick before we start opening each box, right? And then we'll come back to we'll switch over. But
Yep.
you've got Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser, kind of an
Yep.
elite soldier with a tactical loadout. From what I've seen, it looks ridiculous.
Yep.
You've got General Brown, essentially the brains and authority that kind of ties the human side of the whole story together.
Yep.
He also he has multiple heads you can use,
Yep.
right? There's the Black Watch Agent. Again, also you have a head pack for that.
Yep.
That's gonna be a huge item. I think a lot of folks are gonna want that, and the General, even
Yeah.
outside of Monster Force use.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
you're
guys
gonna
getting
want that.
multiple generals. I mean, first of all, he comes with
Yep.
4 heads, and then you
Yeah.
can interchange the decal on his name tag, so you don't have to have it
The
General
insignia.
Brown.
Yep.
And a lot of people are putting him with Joe's and Valaverse and whatever.
Yeah, for
Right,
sure. Yeah. Then you have the Donner Party, barbaric survivor look. Is that supposed to be like a Frankenstein looking guy?
It's their version of Frankenstein. So if you know anything about
Perfect.
the Donner Party, it was an exploration
Nope.
party in heading out west, and they end up getting stuck in a snowstorm, and they ended up eating each other to survive.
Oh man, that's creepy. And then you have Halloween Boy, the orange and black combo. Instant shelf standout for sure. Orange happens to be my favorite color. But which of these pieces, these 6 figures, which one do you think is kind of the instant shelf standout? You may have already hinted towards it.
I mean, the Halloween Boy is the standout as far as the colors go, but the one guy that everybody seems to really, really be gravitating towards is the Donner Party. Like I've seen more
Yeah.
pictures of the Donner Party than anything else.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the one I've seen come up across there the most, but
Yep.
I think Halloween Boy, I think he's like a sneaky kind of like standout
Yeah.
just because his bright, the
Yeah,
vibrant
that's
color
what I was
there.
saying in the beginning,
But-
right? He just pops on the shelf. I mean, with all the black and the gray and the green and all that, he just kind of pops out. So
For sure. So that's really the full wave rundown. I think I covered it all. Give a
Yep.
little bit of lore from season 1. It's time to get our hands on. Like I said, we've got Lieutenant Griffin, the Donner Party, the Black Watch Agent, the Head Pack, General Brown, Halloween Boy, and the 25th anniversary BBTS exclusive. I think Ed has them all ready to open. Ed, you ready to see if these live up to all the hype? I mean, it's been a year plus in the making,
yeah, I've
right?
been waiting for a long time. And like I said, I got a box here that they came in. I'm just going to reach in and grab whatever figure I grab. I have them in no specific order, and whatever one it is what it is. And our first
Okay, well
our first
let's do
winner
it.
is the Black Watch figure.
Sweet.
So
I'm going to
just a
throw
little
you
run,
up on the big screen, let you do your thing.
So just a little bit of rundown on the Black Watch. The Black Watch agents are basically like the Secret Service for the high-ranking officials. General Brown being one of the original people from that started the Monster Force. He's actually an official original member of the Eagle Force, which was out in the 80s. And when they did the Eagle Force, Fresh Monkey Fiction did Eagle Force Reborn, or whatever they called it, they started with General Brown. And then General Brown created the Monster Force. And so then the Black Watch agents are basically CIA agents, or not CIA agents, but Secret Service agents. But they've all been given just a tiny little bit of vampire blood so they can really protect the people that they're assigned to by being able to sense where they are and sense danger, and they become a little bit more than just elite soldiers. They become like supernatural soldiers, basically. And somewhere there's a plastic tie that I'm missing, and I can't see it.
And are these boxes, are they still similar to the previous ones, which kind of have that like look and feel like almost like a um was it a movie box or something?
No, they have the same effect as the original ones, but they didn't have the movie packaging. So they have the box here, and then on the inside flap, there's a portion of the comic book, so you can get
Okay,
more and
maybe that's
more.
what it was.
Yep. And then on the back, of course, they have a little quick bio and then a cross sell.
Yeah.
So he comes with the base figure, which is just dude in suit, and he's got the sunglass head. Um, the other thing that about the Black Watch is because they have a drop of vampire blood, they also come with this head because they are actually considered shadow ghouls, and this helps them fight off the evil forces of the Forgotten King. He comes with quite a few different hands, and then of course some kind of M4 military gun and a handgun, some blast effects. He comes with black hands to go with the Shadow Ghoul head. So you can, if you make him a Shadow Ghoul, he doesn't have to have human hands. And he also comes with the stand, which is the typical Monster Force stand, has the name on the front, and then it looks like a
Tombstone, right?
tombstone. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. And so those are the hands he comes with. You can see down there, basically the standard hands, trigger fingers, fist hands, expressive hands, and then just standard gripping hands. So the inside cover on this one is pretty cool. It's just kind of like a dark, like tunnel, like train track looking thing. Subway, that's the word I'm looking for. Subway. And that is the Black Watch agent. Any questions? Anything you want to see?
So I guess my questions are: I've never held one of them in my hand. The plastic, the
Yeah.
quality, is it in line? And I'm keeping my eye on the chat. Ed, don't even worry about that.
Okay.
The In regards to the plastic,
Oh, I tell you what,
Joe.
they definitely improved the joints from season one. These joints are incredibly smooth. Not that the joints weren't
Okay.
good in the first season, but they were a little like you could like not as smooth as these ones are. The overlay is super super soft, so like his jacket will get up and out of the way if you're sitting him down in the car or whatever. His tie is molded right on. The bottom part is a little flexible, so that works good. Um, so I will leave him standing here for a second, and I'll reach in and grab the actual, since it's a smaller box. This is the Black Watch heads and hand pack.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
And then Mendoza says the Donner Party is so photogenic, and then
yeah,
says he
like
needs
I
a
said,
horse for his Donner Party.
a what? A horse?
A horse.
Oh, I got enough horses for my Donner Party. So in the heads pack, you get an extra 10 hands, and you get the same head as the Black Watch agent comes with. You also get, let me see if I can do this without throwing the hands all over the place.
So do you get the same one as in like the black, like
The black hair, yep.
the ghoul looking?
And you get two Shadow Ghoul heads. One has ears down, one has ears up, so they have a little bit of difference. Okay. You have the same head as Brown, except it comes with blonde hair.
Okay.
Then you have this dude that looks kind of like Samuel L. Jackson.
Gotcha. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it does.
If it was a gray beard or gray goatee, it definitely looked like it. And then,
Do those heads fit well on like the Joes and the Valaverse figures?
some of the older Joes, yes. The new Joes pegs do not fit in their necks, but Valaverse and them you can interchange heads with very easily.
That's awesome, considering that they
Yeah,
have so many of those army builders on their end.
yeah,
Having you're getting all these surplus extra heads if you happen to
yep,
be into both those lines. Easy
yeah.
to
Like
turn
you
one of
could
those
take.
generics into something.
Yeah, I swapped out some hands too from Valaverse and Joe to their hands, and they worked. So you could easily,
Oh, that's good.
take like the Shadow Ghoul heads and hands and make them into, one of the Valaverse, like they're $19, army builder figures or whatever, right? And so you could have a bunch
Yeah.
of them for a lot cheaper than buying, a bunch of $40 Blackwatch figures or whatever. I think Punk was saying that in one of his reviews earlier today. I was watching from the Phantom Core gear pack that if you don't want to buy a bunch of $30 or $40 figures, you could probably just swap them with those guys at $20. So when you're buying a $20 gear pack, you're only spending 40 for a complete figure as opposed to 60.
You're
So
you're
that's the
talking if you
Blackwatch.
wanted to. You're talking if you bought some of the Valaverse base builders
Right, the
and you
base
got the
builder.
head packs
Yeah,
from
head
Operation.
packs and the gear packs are $20. You
Yeah,
could build a wide range of troopers and stuff for
yeah. No,
save
that makes
yourself
sense.
$20.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know who's coming out of the hole next, but next we have Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser.
That's one of the ones you were hyped up for.
Oh yeah, one of the favorites. And there's the comic book cover. What he looks like in the package. Can't really see him
And
because of
does
the
that
shadow.
those comic pages that are in there, are they only on the box or are they in part of the graphic novels that they have shared before? Or
Some
can
of
they
the
like take those to put them together?
some of them are in the quick preview comic book that they put out. They were supposed to be putting out a full comic book, but I haven't seen anything about that yet.
They gotta get to work.
So Lieutenant Griffin is the Invisible Man. Griffin is actually the last name of the original Invisible Man in the old horror story. So
Okay.
they kept that part of him legit.
You're learning me a thing or two here.
And let's see. So he comes with the typical, Monster Force stand with his name on the front of it. Let's see if I can get him out. The cool thing about this figure is he comes with a mummy wrapped head and mummy wrapped like forearms. And then he comes with interchangeable invisible head and invisible forearms. So you could have him in his uniform still, but could still tell that he's like the invisible. If that makes any sense.
What's interesting, no, it does. And what's interesting for those that are watching, if you look just beyond Ed's shoulder here, up to the right hand side of the screen, you'll notice that he has the Pharaoh, the translucent Pharaoh, overlooking him as he's opening
Yes.
up all of these Monster Force figures.
All my Monster
He's
Forces up on
pot
the
committed.
all the Monster Forces up on the top shelf.
Are you telling me that that's top shelf and that doesn't get floated into the toilet?
That doesn't get floated into the toilet. Never. All right. Let's see if I can get this guy out of here. He's got a couple extra ties on him. All right. He is out. Ooh, he's a little stiff, so I don't want to move him too much.
That's what she said.
Yep. So as you can see, he's got a clear arm, right? So he's
Oh,
got two
okay.
clear forearms, and he comes with two wrapped forearms that match his head. And he comes with a clear head and then this wrapped head.
That's
He's
cool.
got a full, protective vest on. And I don't know if you can see it, Travis, but this front part on this chest and all these things, they just plug in. So all the figures come with extra things you can
Okay.
plug in and replace these. So like
So
we were talking about.
similar to the Savage stuff where you can kind of pop and swap all those extra
Yep.
configurable accessory pieces into their
Yeah.
belts.
So
And
like we were
pockets and
talking
stuff.
about with, army building, you could definitely make a
Yep.
bunch of different characters. So there's the invisible head. It's the same head,
Oh,
just
see,
invisible.
I didn't know they packed John Cena.
Yep. Yep. You can't
That's
see him.
awesome.
This is actually the human version. So I don't know if you can see
Okay.
that, but that's actually a human head that's invisible. He's got hands that are gloved, typical hands, expressive, grip, punch, and trigger. He's got these two
Okay.
weapons. The weapons
How
are
do
all
you like the
designed.
weapons?
The weapons are great. I love their weapons, and their weapons are all
Oh, and
designed by
these are
Gridiron.
gridiron.
Yeah, these are all
Yeah.
designed by Gridiron now. Um, he comes with a ton of invisible hands and in the same style, fighting and
Okay.
trigger. A couple of blast effects, um, extra shoulder harness for a pistol, a couple of different leg wraps. He comes with these cool goggles that you can put on top of like the invisible head, so he looks like he's invisible with just some goggles on. Makes him so he
Yeah.
can see when he's walking around at night. And then let me see if I can get one of these out. And he's got a bunch of little accessories like a knife and a pistol and some other things like that. And then you can swap these forearm covers over the top of the invisible arm so it looks like they're wrapped.
Okay.
So he's not
That's
invisible
cool.
anymore.
Oh man, those would be cool. It's actually funny, those wraps, because it's like bandages, right? That's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yep. Yeah. It looks like a mummy wrap.
So Little Wonder and I were setting the basement up and stuff and watching some Raw last night, and we got the 60-inch TV down there, so we're watching Raw and I'm cleaning up, getting everything organized for the dungeon, and he's using figures and he's like, look at the guy on TV, he's got some bandages around his waist. He's like, they should come out with some bandages and wraps that you could put on people's arms and bodies, and like it looks like somebody has some of that stuff, but that's cool.
That
I could
one
see some
place,
use for that stuff.
that one place that Frank promotes has some.
Figure.
Yeah.
Figure collector, whatever it is. I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember what the hell the name of that place is called either. I always forget. But yeah, they actually make them with their stretchers and stuff, which is perfect for wrestling, right? Because I mean, it's like the wrestlers are always coming out with crutches and canes and all sorts of stuff, even if it's not a real injury. They always
Figure toy company.
figure toy company. That's the one.
That's what it is. And just so we have, looks like Terrence under a new name just showed up.
Yep, his is
on
coming
social
up
media.
as his YouTube handle also, not his YouTube
Yeah.
name. So YouTube must be going through another update. So that was the eraser. Let's see
Sweet.
who's next.
And Adam mentioned that the eraser is his favorite by far so far.
Uh-oh.
And then Terrence says he's not sure if he likes the change in the packaging just yet. He wishes they had kept it consistent. I really wishes they'd publish a numbered checklist since they put the numerical design on each box.
Yeah, I know.
And he says you can also make your own adhesive bandages with bandages and a scissor, with adhesive and a scissor. My only concern with doing that on my own is getting the figure sticky. I was thinking about that last night when he was asking me about it.
You could use some gauze and just tape it on, though. It would hold for what you need it for.
Yeah.
So
I just worry about it getting sticky on the figure, though. Ooh,
well, that's what I was saying. Like
go.
if you use gauze, you could just tape on the outside of it. That way it wouldn't.
Oh, got you.
So this is the Delta Red Nightshade unit. Okay, so there's a part of the comic. And like I said, this figure was the BBTS 25th anniversary. This one comes with the Declan Van Helsing head, a helmeted head, and then a vampire head. So the Nightshade operation is a special operation that they created to fight the werewolves, because in history, the dark night of the moon, which is when there's no moon, is when werewolves are their weakest. So the best time to fight them is during what they called that nightshade, because there was no moon. And so they created these camos that actually acts like nightshade, so they're better at fighting off the killer orcs.
So these are more like elite level. Like
Yeah. So in the lore, Declan actually creates. He takes on the Nightshade and handpicks a couple of the Delta Red troopers to wear the Nightshade uniforms to go combat the the Kilowoggs and save Congresswoman Goldie Hawn, who Goldie Hawn was a part of the original Eagle Force, and she was just a soldier back then. And they aged her up to be in the Congress now, and like a high-ranking like government official who's like super important. She has her own Black Watch agents that watch over her, and there's a story where she gets captured by the Kilowoggs, and Declan has to create this nightshade camo based on what Mr. Legacy, which is coming out in season 3. He's the historian. He's been like he's basically he never dies, so he's eternal. But he figures out about the nightshade and then creates the camouflage based on what he find out about how werewolves are weaker when the nightshade is going on. So there's Declan's head with some camo on it.
And Kenzo just showed up, just so you know.
What's up, Kenzo? And he comes with.
Did you show me Declan's head on there? Is that the default one that's on there?
Yep, that's the default one that's on there. It's the
okay. That's cool.
Declan head with some camo on it. It comes with that helmet, which was in the original Delta Red Troopers, and then it comes with.
Okay, they had like did they have like the slash marks on it in red or whatever?
Which one? This guy?
No, the helmet you were just talking about.
Oh yeah, it was a different color. It was a different color scheme, but it was the same helmet from before. This has Declan's M4 with the Dracula spike on the front and the crossbow, like the original Declan Van Helsing came with. And then he has a bunch of hands and interchangeable shoulder pauldrons and things like that. It's typical stuff. But as you can see, he's basically just a Delta Red trooper from the original Wave 1, just done up in some different coloring and stuff, which, for a BBTS exclusive was a cool way to do it, right? Plus you get the unique Declan head and some new some different accessories and stuff like that. So this guy is a perfect, army builder for like an elite corps. If you wanted to build, a small set of, 3-4 troopers, together to take on the Kilowoggs. This is who you want to use. But this went up for sale when BBTS was having their big 25th anniversary. He was part of that.
Okay.
If I'm going too fast, you want to see something, Travis, let me know.
No, you're doing good. So that one went up for sale as part of their 25th anniversary. Yep. It's still technically part of season 2, though, right? Or is that series 0?
Yeah, it's still. Let me see what they consider this one. I don't know, because I don't see where it tells if this is season 0 or season 2. I'm going to guess this has to be part of season 2, though, because this happens. Season 0 is supposed to be like what happened before, like right when the Forgotten King came up, and then season 1 is what happened later, and then season 2 is supposed to take place after that. Now we come to General Brown. And as I said, General Brown was an original member of the G.I. Joe or Eagle Force from the 80s. He was a sergeant back then, and his name was Sergeant Brown.
So that one hits close to home for you for sure, because I know Eagle Force is a big one that you loved.
Yep. And then he comes with 4 heads. And a lot of these heads are, I don't know if they did it to pay an homage to the other generals from like comic book lore and stuff. These boxes are really tight to get into. The other ones were not quite as hard. So I like the boxes, but they're definitely a trick to get into them. So this is the guy that, like we were saying in the beginning, that everybody's been, taking and buying them just to use a Joe or Valaverse or whoever, because it's not very often we get a, figure that's in a military uniform of a general or something that's a dress uniform. We always get the camo and the, fatigue look. So,
the thing is that you have a situation where you have, a guy like Valaverse. If you go look at any of the lore and stuff, they had a bunch of suit type guys and stuff that were like in the early comics and stuff that they referred to and stuff. So having that ability to have some of these characters, if you wanted to kind of shore them up
Yep.
there, it gives you that access.
Yeah, the suit guy's joints are so smooth. I'm so impressed. But here's the head that he comes with. This is Sergeant Brown's head. He kind of looks like Carl Weathers from Rocky or the Predator or
Yeah,
whatever you want to say.
or Happy Gilmore. Is that the same one?
Is he in Happy Gilmore? I don't remember that.
See the guy. What is his name?
Uh, I just said it and I forgot.
Carl.
Carl Weathers. Apollo Creed he played in Rocky. So you got this general head, which is a white hair, white mustache. He kind of resembles General Ross from the Hulk story.
Yep. Yeah. And just to clarify, Carl Weathers, yeah, he played in Happy Gilmore as the coach. He was like his coach, the guy that had that missing hand.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Or
right.
had the fake wooden hand. Yeah.
I believe this head is supposed to be General Flagg from the original G.I. Joe Real American Hero.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. He also kind of resembles the Action Man 12-inch head from
the
90s.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then they have this head, which everybody says is General Joel Colton, but if you ask any true Adventure Team fan, Joe Colton doesn't exist. That's a Hasbro bullshit storyline made up. So he looks like the G.I. Joe Adventure Team commander.
Okay.
Brown hair, brown beard.
There's a ton of cool heads there you could use for a bunch of
tons
things.
of heads. And you get, an array of Caucasian hands and an array of, African American hands. And then
awesome.
the coolest thing about this character is in the pack, he comes with like 3 different sets of sunglasses, a handgun, but he also comes with some decals so you can write other names on it or make him the other characters, right? So you don't have to have him have the tag on his uniform that says Sergeant or General Brown.
Yeah.
So a really cool little thing they did there.
The options for that.
Yeah. They really, have some creative ideas that they, are throwing into this line.
For sure.
Like, giving some options for heads and stuff. And, things like, a lot of times you get a general body and you're like, oh man, this is, a great body. I want to make it somebody else. And then you can't because it's got, the name written across it or something like that. And like, they're like, yeah, we'll fix that.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And that was General Brown. Yeah, we got 2 people left. Who's next? Halloween Boy's next.
Oh,
There's
man.
Halloween Boy. Halloween Boy is based on a comic book character by, I think his name was Dave Baker. It was an independent comic originally. Really cool storyline. He's like the world's elite. Like he's like Indiana Jones on steroids. So he's like an adventurer, an archaeologist, a history buff. Can do all sorts of like battle and stuff, and in the comic. And so you get a little preview of the Halloween Boy comic. But I think one of the actual press companies just in October of this year, this month will be, they signed it so it can become an actual, not independent published comic book anymore.
Oh, really?
So they'll be actually publishing it.
They signed it. They signed it to
a contract.
Legitimate line.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
So he comes with a couple of handguns, a knife, a bunch of blast effects. The typical Monster Force stand. He has a really sweet looking M4 rifle, as you can see.
How are the guns? Are they rubbery, more like a GI Joe, or are they more like a Valverse quality gun?
They're really like pretty much in between the two. There's a little bit of flex to them, so they're not as stiff as the Valverse, but they're nowhere near as gummy as like most of the Hasbro. Hasbro is doing better lately, but the Monster Force guns have always been pretty decent. And then he has, because in the comic book he has a fiery sword. So there's this fiery sword with the skull on it.
Okay. Is
And
this is the fire artifact, is it attached to it or does it like just wrap around it?
let's see. So there's the sword,
Okay.
and then there's a slot in the flame that this
Oh, okay.
slides into. So you could have it, like if he's holding it up, it could be on this side or it could be on this side. Doesn't matter. It slides on both ways. So very cool effect for the sword, and that's part of the character. He comes with a pretty cool. Let me get him out so we can really see how bright orange he is. Like I said, when I first saw this character, I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of goofy looking," like with his head and his ears and stuff. But the more I looked at, like, I researched his comic book and checked out more pictures, and then when they showed the actual pictures for the marketing stuff of actual action figure itself, I was like, "Damn, that guy's awesome looking." Come on. That's one thing I don't like is they put the cable tie like through the shoulder piece of the harness or the chest plate, and man, it's a
Oh.
real bitch to get out. And yeah, these joints are stiff, so I will have to give them all the suited bodies are really smooth. These standard figures are really stiff joints, so I'll have to give them all a bath before I move them around too much. But as you can see, his head is, that's the design of the actual character. So, he's got the ears and got the goggles, and his head
So is
has
he
like,
actually like, is he a human or is he like a mutant? Like what is
no,
he?
he's a human. He's just like,
Okay.
like I
Like
said,
Batman.
he's like Batman. But he's an archaeologist, an adventurer, a historian. So he's kind of like I said, he's like Indiana Jones on steroids. He's like if Indiana Jones and Batman had a child together that, didn't know how to dress.
Okay.
So really cool figure. I can't wait to get him loosened up and play with him a little bit. I'm in the process of building a Monster Force inspired Dio, which I will show off when that's all said and done, though, because it's
Ooh.
not finished yet.
I hope you're recording it as you go through the process.
Oh hell no, dude! I've been having too much fun just
Come on,
building.
man.
I
Get the
got,
damn camera out.
you know how I am. I get going and then I forget. Then it's like, oh, too far into it now.
Tony Figs just joined. What's up, Tony?
Tony, what's happening, brother? And we got one more, which is the Donner Party. There's the box for the Donner
And this is the
Party.
one that's like everybody's been hyped up loving.
Yeah,
And it just
everybody
so happens
really
to be the
likes the
last
Donner
one you
Party.
open.
And there's the comic book, as you can see. A lot of these are drawn just for this because this is new art that's on here. So there must have had some more comic book art drawn up. It'd be nice to see them actually do.
You know me. That's what I would hope for.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to pull this whole thing out. So he is awesome.
And now this is the last one, right?
This is the last one.
And you've got the other ones on the way. Which
The other ones will be. The other ones are in my pile of loot. Yes, I will do some unboxings. Record them, some unboxing them.
Yeah.
So here is
after.
the figure. He's got a couple of ammo belts on his chest, crisscrossed across his chest. Comes with a pistol holster and some kind of like, it looks like an Indian style, like Indian, like created canvas bag, like the
Oh,
settlers
okay.
would see. Then he's got the pistol on this side, crossbone or crossed ammo belts on his chest. There's his face. I don't know if you can see that good.
Put your hand right behind his head. Move it around there. Nope, there you go. No, no, you're good. There, right. Move your hand to the back a little bit. Just pull it away just a little bit. That'll focus. Maybe, maybe not. It was there. People saw it. They'll see photos.
Yeah, a lot of them already seen photos. Pretty cool. He's got like fur around his bottom of his boots because, of course, this is supposed to take. The Donner Party took place like in the middle of winter when they were all starving to death.
Okay.
He is the first Monster Force figure that comes with soft goods. Now, it's not a huge soft goods item, but it is like a cloak that goes over his, like an old West like windbreaker cloak kind of thing. So it goes over his shoulder like that. That's all
Oh, that's good.
soft goods.
Is it flexible? Is it like?
It's wired.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Wired.
Yeah, it's wired around the outside edges, all three, and then right around his neck, so you can get it to go under his chin and kind of stay there where it needs to be.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's good. It's good fabric. It's not real thick. It's not real thin. So it can kind of wave
Oh,
out as it's blowing in the wind. Then he comes with a Tommy gun, 6-shooter, and like a pump action, or not a pump action, but a lever action rifle. So
yeah.
there's the Tommy gun. See the pistol there. There's a lever action rifle. Comes with a big ass, really big. I'm guessing this is supposed to be a Bowie knife. No, it's actually kind of a
Oh,
machete. So comes with a big machete in a sheath that hooks onto the straps across his chest, so it goes across the back. So it looks like he's carrying it on his back. And some blast effects, and that is all that he comes with. But he is sweet looking.
that's awesome.
He will photograph amazingly.
I imagine we will start to see some photos probably
Oh,
pop up
lots of them.
tomorrow, if
Yep.
not sooner, right?
Yep. It's probably
Awesome.
I'll soak some of them tonight and get them loosened up, and soak the rest in the morning. Get them all loosened up because, like I said, these the military guys are really, really stiff. The suited guys, I'm impressed with the joints they gave them. They're so smooth. It's not even funny.
That's all. That's great though, man. I'm happy. You're happy. Your
I'm
outcome
so
is your
excited.
outtake is yeah. And now you've got what, 5 other figures coming?
I have Dr. Caligari. I have the 3 zombies, the Phantom Core, and an extra Black Watch figure coming,
Oh, okay. Wow. Awesome.
and Frosty the
That's
Snowman.
good. Oh yes. That's awesome. So that's uh that's the unboxing with Operation Monster Force. One of the things that we talked about, Ed, and I kind of hinted toward at the beginning of the show, is that we're going to continue to do our main topics like we have always, but we've been really enjoying the back and forth conversations around Operation Monster Force and the Savage Crucible stuff, and even the AWOC. There hasn't been a lot of traction around AWOC, but like with the Monster Force stuff coming out this week and the Savage Crucible stuff just a few weeks ago, we've been
Yeah.
really enjoying that conversation and just the content around there. So we're going to continue to sprinkle those in and try to like make those a focal point or an anchor within the show too, around some of the topics we talk about, the lore, really diving in. We've got some ideas and stuff behind that we want to dive into a bit more. So we'll continue to do that, but we are going to continue to also throw in our random main topic, like the one we have scheduled for next week, or not next week, I'm sorry, next time, which is 2 weeks from tonight, which would put us at, I believe, October
28th.
28th, if I have my dates right.
28th.
So we'll be pushing this plastic shame one because it is so shameful and we are so embarrassed.
Yes.
We have been pushing this one out the last 2 episodes.
Well, we had the Monster Force hit,
28th.
and we had Savage announce Wave 4 of their awesome
Yeah.
figures. I'm so excited for that new wave. My God. And so
I mean, you got the Who Man and stuff, so you're all about that now too. But so we're gonna dive into the plastic shame, on the 28th. I've been pulling up the messages in the chat as we've been going along. I think we covered all of those, Ed. Outside of that, I don't have anything else other than the fact that we'll see guys on the 28th at 9:05 like usual.
Yep.
Ed, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Go buy some Savage Crucible. They still have some available at their website, and go buy some Operation Monster Force off of BBTS. And other than that, I'll let you take us out.
Awesome. With that said, thanks folks for coming back again. We appreciate all your time. We are at 341 subs. We're pushing to 500. We want that organic growth. So if you enjoy what you see, you enjoy the time hanging out on the live streams and the pre-records we've been doing, we're open to feedback. We appreciate it. Like, share, sub. But otherwise, most importantly, stay wonderful.
Step up, strike a pose, it's the ToyLeet crew. From Max to Stacks to Toy Vendor, yeah, we break through. Unbox the fire, showcase the find. Collectors worldwide, all one of a kind. ToyLeet, we set the pace. Elite with the heat in this plastic race. ToyLeet, not just a name, we're the culture, the vibe, the collecting flame. Click, snap, pose, it's more than display. We stack with style, redefining play. Custom builds, epic drops, from stream to shelf, we never stop. ToyLeet, it's not just toys, it's legacy we stack. ToyLeet's the movement, and we're never looking back.